Hi guys, welcome to Is Php Academy, and in this video I'm going to show you what is difference between PHP and Nodejs. Both Nodejs and PHP are very popular technology and programming language which is used in backend. That means it is used in backend server-side programming language. So I have tried to collect 10 differences between PHP and Nodejs so that you can have a deep understanding what is the difference between PHP and Nodejs. Most of you might be coming from PHP background, so the obvious question that might be arising into your mind that what is the difference between PHP and Nodejs. So I'm going to demonstrate to you in this webinar what is the difference between PHP and Nodejs. Before we proceed ahead, first of all, I think that I should cast a light on both the programming languages so that you can have an intro, So I'm before giving the actual differences, providing you the actual differences, what I'm going to do, first of all, I'm going to give you a brief introduction of both languages, PHP as well as Nodejs. So let's see first what is PHP. PHP is acronym of Hypertext Preprocessor. As you know, this is a recursive name, PHP. Its initial name was Personal Home Page, but later it was renamed to Preprocessor, Hypertext Preprocessor. PHP is a server-side language. PHP is just dynamic server-side language through which you can create dynamic website. Dynamic in the sense that you can create database-driven website. So PHP runs on the server so that it can be executed with a database. PHP was created in 1994 by Rasmus Ledorf. Popular websites like Facebook, Wikipedia, and WordPress, Pinterest, etc. are built using PHP, so you can understand its popularity. And according to Wikipedia, more than 75% of the websites are built using PHP, so you can understand its popularity. Now, let's have a brief introduction about Nodejs. Nodejs is a server-side JavaScript runtime environment engine. Remember here, PHP is a programming language, but in case of Nodejs is a server-side runtime JavaScript runtime environment. You might have heard about JVM, Java Virtual Machine, if you come from Java background. Then what is JVM? JVM provides a platform on which bytecode or .class file runs. So similarly, to run and execute JavaScript, there is a platform called Nodejs. So Nodejs acts as a platform on which environment which the JavaScript code executes. Second important point is that Nodejs uses V8 engine. V8 engine, remember, this V8 engine is the same engine which is already present in Google Chrome, and I think most of us have already used Google Chrome. So inside Google Chrome there is a software called V8 engine, and same software is also present, has been inherited, has been taken from V8 engine and has been put into the Nodejs. Nodejs was written initially by Ryan Dahl in 2009. Node.js is used where heavy I/O is required. So what does that mean? Where heavy input/output is required. In that case, Node.js is required. For example, there are video streaming and real-time games, chat, etc. At the place of in this area, in this application, this Node.js is used. Popular websites running on Node.js are Netflix, which is a very popular website, where movies and other things are you can watch. So this Netflix, PayPal, LinkedIn, Uber, and eBay, etc. are built using Node.js. So you can understand its popularity as well. Now that we had a brief introduction about PHP and Node.js, now in this section we will see the 10 differences between PHP and Node.js. So the first difference is PHP is a scripting language. As I have mentioned before, that PHP is a scripting language. PHP is used as a backend server-side scripting language through which a database-driven website can be developed. On the other hand, Node.js is a server-side JavaScript engine. It's not a programming language. Node.js is used in backend or server side like PHP, but unlike PHP, as I mentioned before, it is not a programming language. But the programming which is done for Node.js is JavaScript. So that is the first difference. So what is the difference? The difference is that the PHP is just programming language, but Node.js is not a programming language. It's a runtime JavaScript runtime environment. But the Node.js programming can be done using JavaScript. So that is the first difference. And now let's have a look at the second difference. The complete stack of PHP is called LAMP stack, or its full name is Linux, Apache, MySQL, and PHP. So the complete stack is called LAMP stack, and it's a very popular and old stack which is being used around the world. And in case of Node.js, the complete stack of Node.js is called mean stack or modern stack. So the acronym of mean stack is MongoDB, Express.js, Angular, and Node.js. Or in place of Angular, React.js can be also used. In that case, it is called MERN. So MongoDB, Express.js, React, and Node.js. Sometimes along with this, Vue.js is also used. So in place of MERN, we can say you can use just V instead of R. So as you can see in this image, that mean stack comprises of MongoDB, Express.js, AngularJS, and Node.js. On the other hand, the LAMP stack comprises of Linux, Apache, MySQL, and PHP. Now, let's have a look at difference number 3. First, PHP. PHP is developed and maintained by Gen company, or the same company which has developed Gen framework. On the other hand, Node.js is powered by Google's V8 engine. So this is the logo of Gen company. You can search in Google also. And this is the logo of V8 engine, which is powered by Google. This is the product of Google. So you might be thinking that what is V8 engine? So as per definition of Google's official website, V8 is Google's open source high performance JavaScript and WebAssembly engine written in C++. So now you can understand, the importance of C++. It is used in Chrome and in Node.js. So what is here? The same JavaScript engine is used in Chrome browser as well as Node.js, among others. It implements ECMAScript and WebAssembly and runs on Windows 7 or later Mac OS X 10.12 plus, so etc. So that is V8 engine. Now let's see the difference number 4. PHP is a very old and mature language and has a large community to support. On the other hand, Node.js is a new technology and its community is not as large as PHP, but it's growing really very fast. Let's see William. What I did, I just opened Stack Overflow website and just typed PHP, and I got this number of answers. So as you can see, I got this number of answers and one row contains 50. So I just multiplied here 25771 into 50 and I got here this number of questions. So as you can see, this is really a big one. And now what I did, just type Node.js. And in Node.js, I received, of course, very less as compared to the PHP one. So I just multiplied here 2109 into 15, and I got this number of questions or answers. So as you can see, the number is less, but you should also keep in mind that PHP is a really very old and it has been used for long. So as compared to PHP, this Node.js is a newer technology, but still you can see the number of question and answer is really very big. Now let's see the difference number 5. The difference is PHP and Node.js. PHP requires any web server software like Apache or IIS to run. And as regards Node.js, through Node.js you can create your own server, stack and serve the files. The server stack layer becomes really very easy using Node.js. So let's see here the example to better understand it. Suppose, so in this figure you can see that there is a train and track. So here PHP is like a train which runs on track. That means PHP requires some track to run the train. Here the track is Apache which is required to run PHP. So either Apache or IIS server can be used to run PHP. In case of Linux or Windows as well, you can use Apache, but in case of Windows server, if you want to use, in that case, you will have to use IIS server, which comes inbuilt with Windows operating system. Now let's have a look at how we can create a very simple server using Node.js. So here in the first line, I'm just creating the server, and then you can see here request and response as well, which is required in case of client and server communication. And then I have just written here hello world. So what we are doing here, we are just creating, just in the first line, we're just importing the module of HTTP, and then we are just creating server through this JavaScript programming for Node.js, and then request and response. And now just writing here one line or two words, hello world, and then response.end. And ultimately, we are giving here the port number 8080. Now, you just run this code here below node first.js, and then you will get a message server started at port number 8080. If you just type in the browser like http localhost colon 8080, then you will get this hello world. So as you can see that creating server using Node.js is really very simple, and it doesn't require any additional software for that. Now let's proceed ahead with difference number 6. First PHP, and then we will have a look at Node.js. Composer Package Manager is mostly used for package management. What is this? We will see later in this example. And for in case of Node.js, npm or Node Package Manager is widely used in case of Node.js. If you are a PHP developer, then you might have heard about Laravel. So to install, and as you know, that Laravel is a framework, very popular framework of PHP. So install this PHP framework, just you can use Composer. So what does Composer do here? Just download the file of the relevant, the file this Laravel. So as you can see, using Composer in case of PHP, you can download and manage the packages. But in case of Node.js, suppose you are going to install Angular. So to install Angular, you need to install Angular CLI. To install Angular and Angular CLI, just you need to write here npm install -g, that means it will be available globally and @angular/CLI. So as you can see with this example, that in case of PHP, we are using Composer, but in case of Node.js, we are using npm or Node Package Manager. And now let's see the difference number 7. PHP works on synchronous way. On the other hand, Node.js works on asynchronous way. So what does that mean? Let me show you with example. Suppose you have a record, a table having more than 1,000 records. For example, there is a customer table in which there are around the name, address, etc. of 1,000 customers. Now, in case of PHP, just I've written query here, MySQL query, select start from customers, and then I'm writing the while loop and just displaying the customer's name. After this query, there is just a message, just the small message say hello world, which I want to print along with that. But if you see this closely, then the difference is that the first one, the query one, which will print the name of the customers, has a large list. But the second one, which it needs to be printed hello world with just one line. So basically, it should happen like this. Since the hello world is a very small, so it should execute first, and then the list of the customers is long, so it will take more time, so it should execute later. But in case of PHP, since it is a synchronous programming language, that is why what it will do, first it will print the names of the 1,000 customers, only then it will print hello world. But in case of Node.js, the same query can be written like this: select start from customers and then function. If there is error or else, it will print the name of the customers and then console.log hello world. But in case of Node.js, what will happen? So let's see the result. So in case of PHP, the result will be, say, Rajesh, Kareem, Rohit, and Anju, and then hello world. As you can see, hello world is just a one-line code, just a one-line message, so it should have been printed fast. But in case of PHP, since it is a synchronous programming language, that is why it starts from first. So unless the first task is finished, it doesn't perform the second task. But in case of Node.js, you can see it will print like this: hello world first, and then Rajesh, Kareem, Rohit, and June. So the first one, the PHP one, it will take more time, and in case of Node.js, it will take lesser time. Now let's see the difference number 8. PHP is slower than Node.js. In the previous program, we just saw that PHP is relatively slower as compared to the Node.js. Node.js is faster than PHP. And now let's see the difference number 9. In case of PHP, for complete website development, PHP is not enough. As I mentioned before, that to develop a website, PHP is just a backend programming language. That means it runs on server. Okay, so apart from PHP, if you want to develop the complete website, then in that case, you will have to use PHP as well as MySQL, JavaScript, jQuery, etc. But in case of Node.js, the complete website development language, you can use a single language that is called JavaScript. You don't have to use many programming languages to develop a website. So that is a major difference. Let's see with this illustration. For complete website, as you can see in this figure, that it requires PHP, JavaScript, jQuery, and MySQL, Bootstrap, and CSS. Now let's see the languages used. PHP, it has its own syntax. JavaScript is a totally a different programming language. It doesn't have to do with PHP, and its syntax is also different. Similarly, jQuery is a JavaScript library. And then there is MySQL. It has a structured query language, which is also completely different from PHP. And now let's see with the Node website. So in case of Node website, what we are doing here, you can see Node.js, AngularJS, MongoDB, and then Bootstrap, and CSS, and then Express.js. So in case of Node.js, let's see the languages used. Node.js, as you saw before, that it is used JavaScript. Angular also uses JavaScript because Angular is a JavaScript framework. Express.js is also built using JavaScript. Express.js is used along with Node.js for database operation. And then MongoDB with a database engine. So MongoDB also the database format, the database query structure is also written in JSON format, which is also JavaScript. So as you can see, in case of Node.js, you can use only one language, and that is JavaScript. And finally, let's see the difference number 10. PHP, as I mentioned before, is a very old programming language and a stable programming language. So PHP has large number of CMSs as well as frameworks, for example. And on the other hand, Node.js also has frameworks, but as compared to PHP, it has lesser. So let's see with this example. WordPress, Drupal, Joomla, these are CMSs or content management system of PHP. Laravel, Coordinator, Widerline, these are frameworks, PHP frameworks, and these are very popular as well. And as regards the e-commerce, you can use Magento, OpenCart, and PrestaShop. These are also built. These are also developed using PHP MySQL. And in case of Node.js, it also has some frameworks, for example, Express.js, Meteor, Derby, Koa, Happy, Turtle.js, and Sail.js. Now, the question is, where to use PHP and where to use Node.js in your application. So you have seen 10 differences. Already I have explained 10 differences between PHP as well as Node.js. So now the time is to understand where we can use PHP and in which application we can use Node.js. If the application requires heavy I/O, which I've already mentioned that where it requires heavy I/O, in that case Node.js used. Also, Node.js is very good for real-time chat applications, video streaming, multiplayer games. So in these areas you can use Node.js. Apart from that, if your front end is built using JavaScript framework like React.js, Vue.js or Angular, in that case it is good to use Node.js rather than PHP or ASP.NET or other programming language. Now let's see where to use PHP. If your stack is LAMP stack, that means if you're already using the LAMP stack, in that case it is better to use PHP. And also where it is not large scalability, that in that case you can use PHP. What does that mean? For example, if you're going to develop just 10 pages website, it is not necessary to go for Node.js. It is better to use PHP. Also, as I mentioned before, if your complete application, for example, if you are using MySQL or SQL Server, if you're using JavaScript already there, and if you're using complete this Linux, then in that case it is better to use PHP rather than going for Node.js. So you understand both PHP as well as Node.js, where to apply Node.js and where to apply this PHP programming language. So hope you understand this point. The conclusion is that both PHP and Node.js are popular. Both have its own pros and cons. PHP is a very mature, it has been used for long and popular language, while Node.js is modern and good choice for developers. So it depends upon your application. It depends upon your application, requirement of application, where to use Node.js and where to use this PHP language. So hope you like this webinar. Please comment and also give your feedback so that we can improve later, and also we can try to answer. So hope you like this video. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.